If you would have asked me that question, let's say 9 months ago, it would have been provide or storage for your moving needs. But now that we're in a different world with the pandemic, it's creating space for your new home office or creating space for your new homeschool. So we're here to provide a solution for different space needs that you have.
Reston Digs, what's up? I'm super pumped because today I've got Jennifer Martinez from Self Storage Plus with us. They've got this awesome location here in Reston, and I just wanted to make sure that I was sharing it with the Reston world. Jennifer, welcome to Reston Digs.
Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure, my pleasure. And so really what I want to do today is I want to learn a little bit about the story, right? Because I remember passing by the site that you guys are in right now, and what was in there before? It was like I forget what it was that was there before, but I remember it looked vacant for a little while, and I was like, oh, that's such a great piece of property. Somebody should do something with it. And the next thing I know, right, somebody bought it
across the street from the skating rink, right?
That's it. Across the street from the skating rink. I think I was coming off of one of the bike trails because the bike trail is right back there. And I remember I rode past and I was like, oh, that's such a great location. And so tell me a little bit about Self Storage Plus. Like, how long have you guys been in business now? And tell me a little bit about the story.
Sure. So Self Storage Plus has been around for quite some time, probably about 20 years. But back in 2018, Noah Markham acquired Self Storage Plus from Chesapeake Resources. So since 2018, we've been running storage facilities, and they were building them a little bit before then, but with the Self Storage Plus brand, it's been since 2018.
Okay. And how did this Reston location come about?
Arkland is the company that Noah also owns. He's more the development side of the self-storage business, and they really search out great opportunities to build self-storage facilities, and really following where the population is moving to make sure that we're able to provide a solution to different needs for customers. So they focused in on Reston, that up and coming area, and saw that there was an absolute need for self-storage. So we wanted to be able to provide that solution.
And it's great. You guys are at a phenomenal location, right? Phenomenal location. I love just the visibility, how he kind of like built it up, and you could see it right from the, wheelie. Is that wheelie? Yeah. So tell me a little bit about what separates you guys, right, from some of the, other self-storage places that are out there. I mean, it definitely looks like a nicer brand to me, right? Just from the outsider looking in, fits really well into Reston. But tell me a little bit about how you guys view yourselves in the marketplace.
Sure. So I would absolutely agree with you that it is a beautiful property. When I brag to my friends and people that I socialize with that self-storage buildings can be beautiful and they doubt me, I pull out the picture of our Reston location and they kind of go back on their heels. But yes. What separates us from our competitors is the product that we provide. And I've seen some different types of products over my years of self-storage. So providing the best product to our customers for a reasonable price and providing great service to go along with it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to be greeted by a smiling manager. I would have to tell you that. So we provide smiling managers.
And so when I look at it from I got the sense that you have it's climate controlled, right? Is
Yes.
it all climate controlled?
Yes, it is all climate controlled. Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's all climate controlled. And which is very cool, right? Because I know I'm trying to think if there's another climate controlled one close by. Because we have a storage space that we got before, because you guys weren't in Reston just yet, on the border of Reston Herndon, and our space isn't climate controlled. We've always said it'd be great to have a climate controlled space, right? Yeah. So how many spaces do you guys have there? Like, how large is it? Tell me a little bit about the facility itself.
So it's roughly 700 storage spaces.
Wow.
3 levels. And yes, it's climate controlled. So it keeps your items or keeps customers' items from reaching extreme temperatures, which we have seen here recently with walking outside of how cold it is. It wouldn't necessarily be fun to be able to store your items in 30-degree weather. So we have a great manager over there, takes great pride in his facility and making sure that it's clean and presentable for customers, regardless of what time of day they come by. So yeah, that's Reston.
Awesome. And you were telling me you're local, right? You're from Virginia, like born and raised in Manassas.
Born and raised in Manassas. I think my mother was too, and my grandmother as well.
Oh, very cool. Yes. And you've been in the storage space, I guess, for some time, right? Your role is director of operations.
Yes.
How did you? I'm just curious. How did you get into the storage world?
I was young and I needed a job.
Right.
So, and it provided me with stability, and I didn't have to work long retail hours. Stores closed at 6 o'clock, so I could be home in time to have dinner with my family, and I appreciated that. Especially, I didn't go to college originally right out of high school, so I really needed that stability and the time to spend with my family.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And so you worked your way up, right?
Yeah.
At some point, I'm sure you ran your own facility. Is that what you had? Yeah.
Yeah. So I started out as an assistant manager in Manassas.
Okay.
And then got promoted pretty quickly after that. I want to say it was about 6 months. And then got promoted to general manager, which is a property manager. And then was a trainer and then an area manager. And then after that, I went back to school, got my associate's degree and my bachelor's degree, became a district manager. So I think that was the largest and hardest jump, was going from in-store to running multiple stores. It's a different, I guess, needs. You're dealing with different personalities instead of just renting storage units.
Yeah, that starts becoming a leadership skill set.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And motivating, leading, and managing people, and right. So that
more of a global view, not necessarily a
store view.
Yes.
Yeah, that's interesting. And then how many stores did you oversee? I'm just curious.
Well, I started out with probably about 12 to 15.
Wow.
And then once I left the district manager position, I would think my store count was up to 21, 23 stores, somewhere around there.
That's a lot of responsibility. 23 different personalities, 23 different needs, 23 different markets. So were you traveling a lot? Because I
was.
Yeah.
Yes, my district ranged from Richmond all the way up. At one point, I was going into Maryland in
Oh, wow.
DC. Yeah.
Okay. And so currently, Self Storage Plus, how many locations is it? Is it small? Is it a smaller organization with fewer stores and high density, or is it lots of different locations? Tell me a little bit about the makeup.
We're a regional operator. I would say that we're a larger regional operator. We're not as large as some of the real estate investment trusts. So we have 47 locations.
Oh, it's big.
With Self Storage Plus, when I started March of last year, we only had 42. So we have definitely increased our store count in a short amount of time.
Okay. And so when you say it's the region, is it Maryland, Virginia, DC, or do you guys moving into West Virginia, or is it,
We do have 3 locations in West Virginia. So it's Maryland, DC, Virginia, and West Virginia.
Okay. Very cool. And Reston is the most newest one, or do you guys have another one that you just recently opened somewhere else?
We opened another one at the exact same time we opened Reston, and we call it our Nicholson Court location. It's in Kensington, Maryland.
It's in Kensington. Okay, Great. Awesome. And so, okay, so this is what I know. Right there, location. What's the corner? It's on right off of Wheelie, and what's the side street that you guys are on?
Faraday.
That's
Faraday.
it. Yeah, it's on Faraday. Okay. And you've got 700 units. They're all climate controlled. The building's absolutely beautiful. I love the glass from the exterior. I'm like, okay, that fits in the Reston super well. I remember what used to be across, maybe it was 10 years ago. There was there was Reston Storage. It was across the street, right? And then they sold to Bozzuto, and Bozzuto did all the development, right? That was there. And that was the only place in Reston. I assume you guys are the only storage facility in Reston. I don't think there's another one. I mean, there's one maybe on the border of Reston, Herndon.
Yeah, we have 1 or 2 competitors within a 3-mile radius. So.
Yeah. But I think you guys are the only ones in Reston proper.
Yes.
If my memory serves me right. Cool. Well, Jennifer, what would you want Reston to know about you guys?
We want the community to succeed just as much as they do. And we want to provide storage regardless of what their need is. Mm-hmm. If you would have asked me that question, let's say 9 months ago, it would have been provide our storage for your moving needs. But now that we're in a different world with the pandemic, it's creating space for your new home office or creating space for your new homeschool. Mm-hmm. So we're here to provide a solution for different space needs that you have.
Yeah, that's interesting for sure. We've had a lot of our clients need that, right? And especially when we're helping clients move, starting to list their house, there's always like a temporary storage that we need to put things into for short periods of time to hold, right? And then, just to kind of declutter a home and make it feel like light and bright and all the rest.
Yeah.
That's right. And, it is surprising the number of people that have just like you said, have cleaned out areas of their home and just said, I got to put this stuff in the storage. I need to create a home office. So right. What other trend are you seeing? Right? Are you seeing any other trends? That is a fascinating trend.
I would say that's our most prominent trend right now. And especially with students, some of them went back to their dorms when college started or when school started. Now they're some of them are going back home. Mm-hmm. So we saw a little bit of the exodus that we normally would, but not as much as we, base our expectations on. But now kids are coming back home earlier than expected. So college isn't necessarily doesn't necessarily have a huge impact as it would prior to the pandemic. Yeah.
What about the corporate world? What are you seeing anything on the corporate side where people are downsizing and maybe they're saying, okay, well, we need to put stuff in the storage, or I don't know if you've seen any kind of trend there. Maybe not. I'm just curious.
Not necessarily. We normally we have a higher customer count of residential customers than we do business. Now, we love business customers. I think some of them may still be locked into their leases, so it's not necessarily a need right at the moment. Eventually, we may see that, but it's not a huge. It hasn't really affected us just yet.
Great. Well, here at Reston Digs, we're big connectors of people, right? It's one of the reasons why we do this. We love connecting businesses with people, people with businesses. And it seemed like you guys got that up and running pretty quickly, right? I was impressed. My wife and I were like, wow, that thing went up in no time. Right?
Yes, they did a wonderful job. And I would have to agree with you. It was probably one of our seamless openings yet.
Very cool. Yeah. Well, I'm happy to connect you with people in the Reston community. We love new businesses that have joined the Reston community. We're always loving to highlight new businesses like yours, and especially ones that you've integrated well within the community. Like the building itself is gorgeous, right? And it fits Reston. And so kudos to the developer, the architect. Yeah, they nailed it for sure, right? They nailed it for sure.
In Reston, so thank you for welcoming us.
Sure. Well, Jennifer, thanks so much for spending some time on Reston Digs.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, if you guys ever need anything, just let us know, and make it a great day. And with that, Reston Digs, hey, let's give a warm welcome, right, to Self Storage Plus. And if you're in need of any kind of storage needs, well, you know where to go now, right? Right on the corner of Wheeling and Faraday. So take care, Jennifer. Make it a great day.